Hello and welcome to another video on this channel where today it is episode 23 of this Let's Play. Today, I've decided I hate myself. This just in, local Minecraft YouTuber ShadowClaw MCYT decides to combat his crippling motivational issues by taking part in a massive task, thinking he will be more motivated through the pain of a big project. More on that now as we join me, myself and I on the scene with this very clearly insane YouTuber. In this episode, I'm gonna start on my mega base. I've spent 22 episodes just building aesthetic things that do not house me whatsoever. Like none of these builds, my whole village, this lighthouse, none of them are my base. I live in a naturally generated igloo. Like, come on, what's this base gonna be? Well, you've probably seen it in the thumbnail. My base is going to be a mountain range. But before we get started on that, I have some changes I've done to the lighthouse that we built last episode that I did while live streaming. So at the base right here, I've added some support pillars to make it look more like a cone shape going upwards. I've also added a small little window there, and of course, finally, an interior. Lots of storage right here that goes out to the dock, a nice windowsill with a planter that is actually a boat, which I find is a cool detail. More storage, some more storage, some more storage, and right up here is the light. An additional detail is that I added a small little gutter right here to collect the rainwater. It goes down this pipe and then out at the bottom. I think this just adds a little bit less symmetry to the build, makes it feel more natural, and is just a nice finishing touch. Right, so let's finally get started on that mega base, shall we? Now I have been working on gathering some stone, but this is literally it. I don't have any more, and I'm going to need a ton more to finish this mountain. But before we gather some more stone, let's head over to where I plan to build this mountain. So as we go past this cow farm, there's going to be a path that leads over to this huge area. This leads to the ocean, but there's plenty of space to build a mountain range here. It's going to just kind of wrap around that place, go all the way around, and I'll probably have to get rid of that mountain over there. But the first thing to do is get rid of these trees, which are just all in the way. So let's do that, shall we? With a quick little time lapse. So, now that the Lorax is after me, for, a couple reasons, just a few, I think it's time that I make the outline of the mountain, just try and get a shape in before I commit to anything. I think it'll help me kind of visualize the project a bit easier. So, let's get to that after I sort away all these shulker boxes. Oh my gosh. Starting off, I of course made a preliminary outline and marked a spot for the mountain entrance. This left side is probably gonna get removed and expanded later, however it was helpful to mark out the width of the mountain. I had a bit of trouble outlining this back bit because, of this guy. So I made the really smart decision of ignoring the problem, and I started on building the front half of the mountain. I began with some base landscape design, since if the rest of the mountain isn't gonna blend in with the surrounding landscape, it's not gonna look good. I continued with a wireframe, mapping out the height of the mountain and also a basic starter shape. It made me realize, however, that the backside of the mountain needed to be expanded, since the height of the mountain wasn't correlating well with the back of it. I continued by widening the wireframe to get a better idea on how I was going to form the mountain. After I had experimented enough, I moved on to create the mountain ridge. This was tricky since the bridge had to be on a diagonal axis, but I got there in the end. And when I ran out of stone, I moved over to the naturally generating hill right beside it and made good progress on destroying it. After that, it was back to building on the mountainside. I utilized different techniques like sectioning up the mountain, and then sooner or later I had a sizable chunk of the mountain done. As I got to the more diagonal bit of the ridge, I decided to plan out the mountain with a grid rather than vertical lines. While this planning process might have slowed me down a bit, I think in the long run it helped me get the mountain shape correct and also built in a fairly good time. So at this point I'm getting pretty sick and tired of placing stone, and as you see we have completed a lot of the mountain. I do want to continue this side, probably extend it further than what I have, because I don't know if I'm going to extend that ridge just a bit higher to create like a dramatic peak. And I have placed a ton of stone in this episode already. Let me see if I can find the statistic for it. Right, so I've mined 41,143 stone in total. I don't know how much that was before, but probably not that much. So my guess is around 25,000 stone mined this episode. It is just crazy how much stone this has taken up. But considering that I have spent a lot of this episode already on it, I think, as you see from this grass line, it needs a bit of changing. It's really straight on the mountainside, and while this is a good transition point, I think it needs just higher places and lower places just along this edge line. So let me see what I can change. So over here, it's kind of a dip in the mountainside, so I'm wondering if I can kind of just make a little gradual triangle that kind of moves up this mountainside. Let me outline it first, and then I'll see how well it works. And then I will replace these with grass. And I wish my beacon was over here. I miss insta-mining stone. I think I need to lower down that piece, but it does kind of work well. I think just in the more steeper places, I do need to keep it stone. Alright, I think once the grass actually grows in, that'll look a lot better. I think I just need to round some bits off, but that does look pretty good. Yeah. Go to sleep. I already see 3 creepers right there. Yeah. Glad I lit up everything under here, otherwise it would be a mob farm still. Ooh, there's a creeper right here. Pew! Oh yeah, trick shot. Alright, look at this. I mean, I'm still waiting for the grass to grow in, but from a top-down perspective, you kind of do understand why I'm doing this, because a lot of this ridgeline is still pretty flat and not steep, like here. I think I'll do this off camera, but a lot of these more flat areas, I think I'm gonna start covering it up with some grass, and then it will start to actually look like a pretty cool mountain. But of course up there, I think I will actually, you know, extend it to, I don't know, extend it at least near the clouds, but so I have a big area to start like covering in snow, you know? But I think I have run out of time for today's episode. I spent a long time on this video and would really appreciate if you scrolled down and left a like. And if you want to stay updated on my building progress on this project, consider subscribing. And I do also have a Discord channel, so if you want to join that, scroll down, you'll find a link to it. I always want to stay connected to my community, so if you want to be part of future activities, do join my Discord server and I'm sure you'll be included. I have updates on both my channels, live streams, and have a wide assortment of channels that you can come and hang out with other people and make some new friends. But until next time, I'll see ya.